This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everyone. When you get in your car and you're heading somewhere, many times, if you don't know where you're going, we rely heavily on GPS. It's just a thing now. It's almost like autopilot. You just punch it in, you follow it, you go. Now let's look at your life. Where are you going? How are you getting there? Do you have GPS? We're going to dig into something known as your life map today. And he runs deep with this type of thing, harnessing the power of energy, spirituality, and so much more at Omar Spa and Wellness Center, which is located in Arizona. Great to have him back with us. Dean Waziry is back on the program. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous, Steve. Good morning, my friend.
I love every time we get together because you, number one, you're real, you're authentic, and practical advice. I mean, the stuff that we've talked about last time, eliminating these toxins and poisons out of our diet and lives and lifestyle in general. Intrigued today about the life map. What exactly is that?
Yeah, I love you, brother. You always set me up for success. So I loved your introduction, given the example of getting in your car and using your navigation system. It's exactly the point that we're trying to make people really understand. So we all born with dreams and ambitious and want to do all these great things in our lives. But unfortunately, a lot of us do not get to the destination. And the reason we don't get to the destination is we do not have what I call a life map. You give a perfect example. You get in your car, you punch in the address, you will arrive, and you will arrive every time. And let's say, the roads are blocked or something happened with your car, you have a flat tire. What do? You're going to deal with it. You're going to finish it up and you're going to get back on the road to get your destination. If you do that with life, chances are you will achieve your dream. So let's get at it from a different angle or a different perspective. So, first of all, we all have to have goals in life. Without having goals, we do not have a purpose. Without a purpose, we are not living. I call it we're surviving. We just happen to be here. And a good example, you talk to somebody, you say, "Hey, good morning, Steve or Bob," and they say, "Hey, good morning." You say, "How's your day?" And they say, "Oh, different day, same day, different dollar, same
Yep.
day." What does that mean? It's just they happen to just be here. It's just not another day. It's another dollar. And if your day worth just $1, there is something wrong here. So the way I look at it is, you must have goals, and those goals need to be tangible. If they're not tangible, they're not goals. So if I say, "Hey, Steve, what do you want to do?" 26 is around the corner. And you say, "Dean, next year I want to be rich, my friend." Say, "Okay, that's good." What does that mean? Because rich could mean just another $10 in your bank account. You're richer, right? But without having a goal that is specific, and you say, "Dean, next year I want to stack away $100,000." I said, "Okay, that's possible. How are you going to do that?" And you're going to have a plan and a strategy. Chances are you're going to achieve that next year. Um, so there's two things that we must really do in life: have specific goals and ask ourselves why these goals are important to us. Because when the goals are important and critical, that would entice you, that would challenge you, that would make you want to achieve it. So having a goal, but understanding why that goal is important, is what's gonna keep you motivated. Once you identify the goal, identify why it's important, now it's time to set up the map. That map is how I will get to that goal. Just like driving your car, you're not going to take the longest way to get to your destination. You're not going to get on the road that you know that has all kind of bumps and problems and stop signs. You want to get to your goal as precise, as fast as possible. And that's when you set up your life map to achieve your goals.
So many questions. We'll get to the map in a moment, but let's focus on the goal or goals itself. I would imagine you need to be realistic in your goal. How do you know that the goal is the right one? Is it a certain feeling that just aligns within?
Well, being realistic is one of the most important parts of your goal setting and achieving the goals, because your goals could actually harm you and take you to places where it's totally in the opposite direction. You know, Steve, if you know anybody who owns a workout facility or a gym, and you tell them when is the most revenue that you guys make every year, they would tell you straight out, our most money we make every year in the first couple months of the year. And you say, why? They say, well, people go on and set up those New Year's resolutions.
Yep.
And those New Year's resolution would involve being healthy, working out, losing 100 pounds, being fit, having an 8 pack or a 6 pack or a 1 pack. What happened is you start the year with being very ambitious. You set your goal really high. You say, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds. I'm gonna lose 75 pounds. And then you start working out, and you're not losing weight. Say, I want to develop those muscles, and the muscles are not coming. So 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road, you stop going to the gym, and now the gym is very happy because they're collecting fees on you for the rest of the contract, but you give up. So without being specific and without having your goals, like you said, being real and being realistic, and also being trackable.
Mm.
So you have to have a way to track it, and it has to be specific. So let's say we talked about losing weight. So if I'm doing a goal for next year for me to lose weight, say, all right, I'm going to lose 10 pounds by such and such. Let's say I set it up and say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds by April of next year. Start January, by April, I lose 10 pounds. Then I'm gonna take that 10 pound, divide it into how many months I have, and then divide it into how many weeks I got. So now I could track my progress. So first of all, it's achievable, it's tangible, has a date on it, has a you could quantify it. You say it's now, if we break it down by weekly, let's say you gotta lose half a pound a week or a quarter of a pound a week. Now you know exactly what how much weight you gotta do every week. So you track about week by week. You're not gonna wake up in end of March and you're like, wait a minute, my goal expire, next week, and I have not lost anything. So now you're on track, going week by week, and now you're gonna say, all right, how is this gonna happen? What are the things that I'm going to do to achieve my goal? And that, again, we go back to the map. And the map is the strategy that you are going to follow. So in my case, I might say, I will eliminate all the heavy carb items that we indulge in, such as bread and pasta and potatoes. I'll get my carbs from fruits and vegetables. So that's one. I might say I will not consume any food past 8 p.m. every night. I may say I'm going to walk a mile every day. Then I put this, I'm just simplifying. There are
Hmm.
so many other things you could do, but I'm just simplifying it. So, week one, I look at myself, I get on the scale, and all right, it didn't work. Well, don't give up on it too fast. Go week 2 and then see if something is happening, because sometimes your body is also adjusting to the changes. Well, you look at the scale and you're like, hey, wait a minute, this is working. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this because it's working. What if it's not working? You've got to make adjustments. Just like getting in your car. The road is blocked. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna sit in traffic for the next 6 hours? Or I'm gonna look for alternative roads. Same thing here. Say, well, I'm doing all these things. It's not working. Okay. So let's
You know what it reminds me of? Remember the old
yeah,
GPS that wasn't on your phone that you just put the device in your vehicle and it would say recalculating. You know, as you're driving along,
right.
recalculating.
Recalculating. Exactly. And if you do that, you will achieve your goals. It's not impossible. First of all, you made a great point. You gotta be realistic, right? I cannot say, well, by next year, I want to be the next Michael Jackson. I don't have the voice or the talents. That's not what I do. So you gotta look into yourself and look into your abilities, look into your talents, and set up your goal to the highest of your potential. It's a huge problem where people don't understand their skills and their abilities. And then they set the goals too high or too low. It's just as bad, because right now you are not setting yourself up for success. But really, what's really important, Steve, remember that you've got to answer the why
Mm.
before setting up the goal. For example, uh, I don't know if you're a father or not, but I am,
Yep,
right?
same.
Same. So if you set a goal and say, I want to be the best father in the world, and just leave it like that, right? And we all do that as men. That's always our goal. Say, I want to be the best father in the world for my children. And then you go and you do your absolute best. And doing your absolute best is by nature for you and I is going to work day and night, invest in their college, invest in their career, buy a house somewhere, buy a land somewhere, set them up for the future, run around all day, busy, 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 busy life. And I've seen this so many times where at the end, the kids look at the daddy and say, you were never there for me. I don't remember you at my games. I don't remember you at all my special moments. You were not the best father that I wish for. And a lot of people go crushed because I dedicated my life to make sure that I'm the best daddy in the world. I did everything a father is supposed to do. I invested in their education and knowledge and career and houses and finances and all that stuff. But at the end, I did not focus on the important things that really matter for them. So having a goal that is not tangible and not understanding why and understanding how I'm gonna get there and understanding the components of it. You might work really hard and you might achieve great things, but at the end, you will regret it because it's not necessarily what you, in particular, in this case, as a human being, or the people that you work so hard for, are looking for. You're going to achieve something that you think is important, but it's not truly important. I'm going to give you an example. If you Google like the last moment of Steve Jobs' life. Steve Jobs
Mm.
is one of my heroes. I have about 100 heroes that I cherish in my life, and I use as leaders in my life, and Steve Jobs is definitely one of them. But the story is he regretted a lot of things in his dying moments. He
Yep.
regretted not spending time with the family, not spending time on the things that matter, focusing on success and wealth and knowledge and power, but not focusing on the small things in life. And I think that's super important because you could be the richest person on the face of earth, but not the happiest, because that wealth is not really what matters to you. So a lot of people, again, they go on chasing a dream, that might sound as what they truly desire, but without digging deep into their heart and soul and understand why is this important? Why is it important for me to get my next PhD? Why is it important for me to get that $1 million? Why is it important to have this fabulous house on top of the mountain? Why is this important? What am I going to do when I buy that $10 million yacht? Who am I taking with me on that yacht? How many times am I going to use it? What is it going to do to my life and the people that I live my life with? And if you look into a lot of the rich and famous, and I've been fortunate in my life to have been with some of the most successful and powerful people on the face of earth. I've been with 5 presidents of the United States. I've been with the Kennedy family and several vice presidents and at least hundreds of CEOs of the top Fortune 500 companies in the world. And I tell you, my experience with all these celebrities and powerful people and successful people, that they were not always satisfied, they were not always happy, they were not always pleased with what they have achieved in life, and many of them felt like they have wasted their lives chasing the wrong dream. And that's
Mm.
why this conversation that we're having today is critical. It's absolutely critical for people to stop and say, where am I going? And why am I going there? And then say, now how do I get to that destination?
So why I'm so happy, Dean, that you said that and reinforced it. A lot of times, I don't think we ask ourselves. We just think, many of us, well, I wish I had $1 million, millions of dollars.
Right.
Okay. Why?
Why?
And if you dig deep into that, I believe many would realize it would be great to have. It's a it's a want, but it's not a need. You
It's
may
not.
have everything you really need. What do you really need? Just be honest with ourselves. What do you
Yeah.
really need? Do you
Right.
need a few $1 million? Would that be the game changer? If you look at people who have won the lottery, the majority, I think it's like 87%, if not higher, all say,
Absolutely.
I wish I didn't win. It wasn't what I
Correct.
thought it was going to be. I have the money's all gone now. I
Right.
want to pivot over for just a moment about what some believe, and you practice Reiki, so the energy thing is there. Some believe manifesting what you want, you don't worry about how to get there. You just manifest what the goal is. You figured out what your why is, and that's what the goal is, whether it's the house, whatever it is. And they say, don't worry about how to get it. Don't get caught up in all of that. Just focus on the feeling of having whatever you want and just knowing it's already here. That manifestation. What are your thoughts about that?
I I think hope is not stretching. Hope is not stretching.
Hmm.
And counting on God on your side, and God loves you, and God wants you to be happy, and God wants you to achieve. That's really against the idea of God. Because if everything is in the hands of God, we just sit back and watch. And when we do not have the life we wish for, we now blame it on the creator. It's God's fault.
Mm,
I wanted all these things. I dream of all these things. And why didn't you, God, the higher power that created me, got me there? I prayed. I went to church or mosque, and I did everything. And at the end, I did not receive. Well,
mm,
wait a minute. If it was this simple, you and I wouldn't be here, first of all, because we're on the face of earth to work, to earn, to cherish, to enjoy, to be good to others. So all these things is in our hands. The decisions we make. we then live with those decisions. We cannot say, well, let the universe take care of me. Well, the universe is too busy. It's not going to stop and say, all right, let me check on Steve today and see if he's got breakfast or not yet. No, the universe is too busy. It's your job and my job and everybody's job to get on with our lives. It's okay for us to imagine. And I, I really, truly admire the point you just made, because if you imagine it, you can live it in your head. And if you now could live it in your head, now you're going to work on how you could actually make it reality. So if you see yourself on that island with your loved one running on the beach, and you could just sit back and just close your eyes and picture those moments and picture the breeze hitting your face, and looking at the ocean and the blue sky and the birds flying, that feeling, now it sets you up to now be eager and
Well, you
saying,
know what? I believe
how do I get there?
as what you say, whether you believe in manifestation or you create a life map and work on it, I believe you need to do the same thing.
Right.
Feel it, believe it,
Feel it.
want it, whatever it might be. Fantastic talk today. Like, I
Always
love it.
fantastic talk with you.
Same with you. What's your website for the Omar Spa and Wellness Center?
Um, so I have everything under my company's name,
Okay.
because I like to have everything feed into the same channel, because anything we do is the same concept. So we are an earth focused company. Everything we do is earth focused. So all the good stuff that takes care of earth and all the creatures that live on earth. So whether it's food and beverage, so it would be organic, natural, chemical free. So our concept is to inspire people live their life. So company name is Urban Fresh, and fresh is spelled as in French, Fraiche. So urbanfresh.com, that's our website. Our Instagram will be Urban Fresh Lifestyle. So anybody that goes to Urban Fresh Lifestyle and Instagram will be able to watch some of my videos. And I always speak about similar things. Every once in a while, I'm also cooking there, because my real talent, Steve, you probably don't know that, is I'm actually one of the top executive chefs in the country. So I cook really well. That's my hobby. So every once in a while, I'm also on my videos making some of the favorite foods and simple food and organic food. And for the holidays, stay tuned for that one, because I'll be doing a whole series on Thanksgiving meals,
Mm.
all
Well,
the things that people love to eat on Thanksgiving and all the upcoming holidays.
Dean, I learn so much more about you every time we get together. Had no idea that the chef thing was a part of you, and now it makes sense because the last time we got together, a lot of the things we talked about was eliminating things from our diet
Correct.
that could be toxic to our bodies. Always great having you on here. Really, really appreciate it, and looking forward next time we get together.
Absolutely. Love you, man. You're awesome.
Likewise, appreciate it. We'll be
Thank
right
you.
back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.